In this episode of Operation Paris, I chased redemption, running the 1 and 2 at Julie Rose Stadium on the 2nd of May after opening my season with windy times at Lee Valley. Welcome to Operation Paris, Part 12.
Something to say, you should hear it. Oh, I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell ya, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no.
So around 11:58 with minus 2.8 or minus 2.6 wind, which wasn't the best. I came second. The run actually wasn't very smooth. It could have been smoother. So there's that to factor in even before I even start complaining about the race, because I will. 11:58, it's not very good. But with minus 2.6 or 8 wind, it's about what I ran in April still. But I clearly don't run very well with the wind. But I reacted really quick, because if you look to me out of the blocks, the guy who beat me, my hands were already well off the floor and they were splitting before that guy even got his hands off the floor properly, like even just one hand. So I can be quite happy with that. My reaction's there. My start, again, isn't very good. My top 10 phase was pretty good, so I just need to just come out proper. If I come out better, we can expect something better from me. Because when I was coming up, I didn't feel like I was hitting the right positions, and I looked at the race and I wasn't as open as I could have been, because I could have been flying, but I wasn't. Yeah, you could blame it on the wind, but the wind shouldn't be able to hinder my technique, so I just need to execute better in my 200 today and in my 100 on the 20th of May when that happens. For the 200, I ran 23:07 with minus 1.3 wind, coming in second place. The race wasn't bad. I was actually very happy with that race. The only problem I actually had with it was the wind, and I can't control the wind on the day. The 23:07, if you converted it using a wind converter, was 22.75, which was a PB by 0.01. Small, but still a PB. In reality, it's quite big, because we've seen so far on the season that I don't run very well with wind. So the fact that I ran a PB, even though there was wind, is still a big thing for me, because I'm going to run faster than the time it said I was going to run, because I know I can't run well with the wind. So if I'm still PBing, even with bad wind, even though it's only on the technical side, that's still a big thing for me. I was very happy with the first 110 meters, because I went around that bend and I went around it hard. And for those of you that have done a 200, you know It's easy to go around a bend for a 200 hard, but it's very hard to go around 200. But it's very hard to go around a bend in a 200 hard and still have energy for the straight. But I had energy for the straight. I just didn't use it as effectively as I could have, and my hip flexion wasn't as good as it could have been. But when I came back to track and I met my coach, I put in a lot of focus with him on the first 100, not the second 100. And the execution on the first 100 was amazing. If you look at the video, you'll see that I was beating the person who eventually ended up beating me up until about 130-ish meters, where he's really started to catch up to me because my stride length wasn't as wide as his. He caught up and he passed me. But if I was able to have a wider stride length, he would never have caught me. So I just need to, now that I've got the first 100 down, I need to get the second 100 down. The bend wasn't as effective as it could have been, because as I was going around the bend, I need to shift my hips from the side back to underneath my body, and that didn't happen as effectively as it could have. Otherwise I would have been able to hit the track and come around that bend more harder. But I already know now for the 2, the first 100 meters is set. I just need to put a lot of focus into that final 2, and knowing that I feel like the next time I run a 200, which will be on the 20th of May again, as long as the wind is good, I will probably be able to remove a decent chunk from my 200, even if I don't focus on the second half of my 100 in training. Even if I just leave what I've done and just refine the first 100 just a tiny bit, as much as I can, and do a bit of work on the bend, so that I can use what I've learned from the bend on the straight, because I've only learned this recently and I've already seen success from it, even though I've only used it for so little amount of time. So if I can get better at doing this, I can come out the bend hard with more energy than how I currently am. Then when I get to the straight, I should be able to tack it and just be in a better position, regardless of whether I actually train for the final 100 or not. But that wraps up Ashford rather nicely. For the 100, there wasn't much I could really do. With the wind, it didn't hinder my form, but I wasn't running as fast as I could. It was because the wind was hitting me so hard, I wasn't allowing myself to open up as well. So I didn't want to get tired by the time I got to the finish line. And for the 200, I have no problems with that. There was no technical problems that I had with the race. Whilst there were technical problems, there was none that I consider a big problem that I should have known in the moment to fix, and I didn't. What I went to do, I did for the 2, which was run that bend really hard. I did that, and I did that effectively. For the 100, a bit more lackluster, but still a better performance than it was in April by a small margin. And I've learned a bit more, I've looked at the races, and I'm going to use what I've learned from these races to fine-tune my training when I go back to the track.